Alright, so we're back.
Alright.
And we're going to set up for a game of Netrunner. And Jeb can't remember if he told you all or not, but basically the theme of this is we're in the future. We're kind of a cyberpunk type of society, maybe dystopian, but very, very cool theme. Jeb is an evil corporation. I am a runner that's going to basically plug myself in and try to hack into his corporation, steal his agendas so that he can't release them upon the world. And that's probably not going to happen because Jeb usually beats me.
I guess for the drinking portion of the episode, we went with blue and red drinks. So the corp has a blue backing to their cards, and the runner has red. So Mickey has a red drink, and I have a blue one. So if you want to know, they're both Mountain Dews with some liquor in it. So, all right. So at the beginning, we offered to cut each other's decks. Setting up, I have my HQ, my R&D, my archives will be here. He's got his.
I have my runner, I have my stack, and I have my heap, and I have my starting 5 money. Over to the side, I have my click counter.
I guess we can put them up here.
We'll put them up here and try to, so we remember to do that so you can follow along. It is one of the things that is difficult to get used to in the game. Well, not difficult, but it's different. So it'll take you a little time before you remember to either start saying out loud what turn you are on, or you'll forget to move this, or no big deal when you're starting though.
Yep. What was I going to say? Our abilities. So normally, if the player doesn't know what the ability of the runner and corp is, we would tell it to each other. So my ability is each player's maximum hand size is reduced by 1. So normally we have 5 cards. It is 4 cards.
And it doesn't count when we start though. We still get a starting hand of 5.
Yep. And then
because you don't check for hand size until the end of your turn.
Yep.
My ability, I am running Leela Patel. Her ability is whenever an agenda is scored or stolen, add 1 unres card to HQ. So basically what that means is that when I steal an agenda from him, or he scores one himself, if he has any cards on his side of the table that are face down, I can make him put it back into his hand. That's what that means.
Don't know why I was going to have us roll to see who goes first.
Because corporation always goes first.
Yep. So we will both draw our hands. I am going to keep.
I will keep also.
Alright, so I'll start. The first thing I have to do is my mandatory draw. I am going to, for click 1, I will play Hedge Fund. And that's the one where I pay 5 money, or 5 credits, and gain 9 back, so I'm netting 4 total. So I have some economy. Then for click 2, I will set a piece of ice right there in a remote server that I just created. And my last will be to set something behind the piece of ice. And since that's all my 3 clicks, it is now Mickey's turn.
I will start by paying 2 for this resource, which is Symmetrical Visage.
A lot of people call it the baby.
It's true.
Baby.
We just call it the baby. Alright, so I'll pay 2 for that. That says the first time I spend a click to draw a card, actually I played that card, so that cost me a click. See, I already forgot to do it. I get to gain a money. So, I actually will spend a click to draw a card. That triggers. I will gain 1 of my money back. For click 3, I will make a run on R&D, which is Jeb's deck.
And it's unprotected, so he automatically gets to access the card.
Oh, looky there!
Aw.
Too bad you don't have any advancement tokens on it.
Oh, what? Okay, so he got one that was worth 3.
That's really good.
So it's almost half over for Mickey.
And then See, also, since my hand size is down, I know that I'm going to have to get rid of something, so I'm going to do this and place another resource called security testing. When my turn begins, I choose a server, and the first time I make a successful run on that server, instead of accessing cards, I can gain 2 money.
Alright, so that's it for you.
That's it for me.
Alright, so beginning of my turn, I do my mandatory draw. I am going to set one here for my first click, a piece of ice.
Jeb didn't like me stealing that.
Nope. The second one is to put something here in my remote server. And my last is to pay 2 for a current. It's an operation. It says the first time the runner takes brain damage each turn, he or she takes an additional brain damage. And currents will stay out until this current is not trashed until another current is played or an agenda is stolen.
Ooh, I need to get an agenda.
Yep. And that's it for me. So you're go, Mickey.
Alright, so I will start by a click for draw, and I will draw a card. I drew a card, so baby kicks in. Baby gives me the money.
Yeah, at the beginning of their turn.
I will choose a server at the beginning of my turn. I'm going to choose archives because that basically is unprotected. So
and usually you put something to
in
help
front
you
of it. Remember, right? I will pay 1 and play this program, which is a code gate. Basically, a code gate breaker. So that was, I drew a card, then I played that. Now I'm on click 3, and I'm going to run on R&D again.
Alright, so when he approaches it...
no, I'm sorry. I didn't want to... Yeah, let him see what happens. I'll do that.
Alright, so as he approaches it, I get the chance to res it. So I will pay the 2 credits it costs to res it. And this is next bronze. It says next bronze has +1 strength for each res piece of next ice. So there's only 1 out, so it has a strength of 1. And it has 1 subroutine in the run. And it is a code gate.
Which I will pay 1 to break it.
Ouch. Alright, so he gets the top card. And you guys want to see, I'm not looking.
No.
Oh, you got it?
Jeb's happy. See?
I'm not looking.
Oh.
Oh, you got snare! Yes! Alright, so snare. It says, if snare is accessed from R&D, the runner must reveal it. If you pay 4 money when the runner accesses snare, do 3 net damage and give the runner a tag. And I ignore this ability if it's an archive. So I have 5 money, so I will pay 4. And you guys might know I've been calling it money. That's how I call it. So I pay the 4. He takes 3 net damage, so I get to randomly pick 3 cards from his hand. 1, 2, and 3. So those are discarded. And he gets a tag. And that was the end of the run. So.
Oh, gosh. For the last one, I'll run H2, see what you got.
He got an agenda.
Woohoo!
So when he steals it, the operation gets discarded.
Put that back in your hand.
This back in my hand?
Why not?
Oh, because of his ability. So. And is that it for you?
Oh, no, you know what? Put that back. Let me make you... It doesn't really matter. You get to put them back down anyways. It costs you a click to do it, though. That's the thing.
Yep.
Let's do the top. Yep, let's do that one.
Alright. So that's the end of your turn?
That's the end of my turn.
So I will mandatory draw. I will... What is this? I will go 1, 2, 3 clicks to get a money for each of them. So my entire turn was getting money. And that's it for me.
I'll start my turn by drawing a card. That gives me a money.
Where did you want to keep it on discard? The security testing?
Yeah.
Okay.
The second one, I will run HQ again.
Alright, so I have 2 cards, and he can choose one to look at.
Nice. 3. I will play emergency shutdown to de-res that.
and that's when you make a successful run on HQ, he can de-res it.
I'll run R&D again. No, you don't want to run. Hate you.
Oh, I don't know if you guys saw it. That's what it was. All right, and that was your last.
Yeah, it was.
All right, so mandatory draw.
Oh, I don't know if we ever told you guys that one of the win conditions is if the runner has to take damage and I can't, I automatically lose. It's what they call a flat line. So basically my grip is kind of my life also. So that's one of the reasons why that can be a popular corp to play, because that puts me at 4. And there's a lot of cards that will do damage, and a lot of cards that will do damage when I'm tagged too. It's a little bit risky to keep that tag, but anyways, that's
For my turn, I'll spend 3 clicks to get 3 money again, and it's your go, Mickey.
Alright. I will. You know what? Let's move that in front of R&D for security testing.
R&D?
Yep.
All right.
And then, so I will click 1. I will draw a card and gain a money for that because of baby. Ooh. Click 2. I will play R&D interface. Now I get to access an extra card from R&D when I run there, and that costs you 2. That'll cost me 1 to break. Yeah. So the next one I'll run on it.
I'll let you go through.
Okay, I'll access both cards.
I think you're forced to do security testing, or does it say may?
Okay. It doesn't say May, so I'm
Okay.
assuming that it has to take it. And the last one I'll run on it.
Do I want to res it? Yeah, I'll pay the 2 to res it, since you know what it is.
And I'll pay 1 to break it.
So he gets the first card,
Nothing.
and the second card. No.
Darn it.
Ooh. Is that it for you?
That is.
Alright. So I will mandatory draw. I will go 1, and since I put it here, I have to pay 1. 2, and grab a money for 3. Here we go.
Alright. Click 1, draw a card, triggers baby. 2, gain a credit. 3, play that. 4, yeah, let's see what he's got there.
Making the run.
Yeah.
Declare that. I'll res that.
Then res it, because that's not what I intended.
Alright, so Mickey's declaring this at the beginning of his turn, I guess on our guys, right? Alright, so he declared a run, so I will res this for 1.
Okay, what is
Oh,
it, a
3.
barrier? Alright, I can't get through that. And what's happening to me?
It has 2 in
And
the
the
runs,
runs, okay.
and this is now a strength 2.
Right.
Alright, my go.
Yep.
Alright, mandatory draw. I will go 1, 2, and 3. Here we go.
Okay, so 1, I'll draw a card. And gain money for that. And then 2, 3, 4. Yes.
Alright, I will mandatory draw. I will go. I'll take 3 money for my entire turn. Here we go. Were you declaring? Keeping it?
Yeah, keeping it archives. I honestly didn't realize that you had to declare. It wasn't paying.
That's
It's
fine.
not the way I played it in the past. I just figured if you didn't say anything, it doesn't go anywhere. Anyhow, click 1, draw a card. Money for baby. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Click 2. a sneak door beta. So I can spend a click to run on archives and instead access HQ. So I will run on archives in game 2.
Through the security testing.
Yep. Well, I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
That's what you told me.
I'm just saying it so they
And then I will do it again to access and hopefully get that agenda that he has in his hand, because I know he didn't play it. Which one is it? And I still don't have enough money to pay for it.
How much do you have?
2.
Alright.
Oh, darn it. I forgot to do that. I hate when I forget my plans.
So my go.
Yeah.
Mandatory draw. I will go 1, 2, and 3. Here we go.
Jerk.
And I didn't use my click tracker, but I saved
1, click to draw a card, and trigger the baby. And 2, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm going to play Katie. Katie is a huge card in this game. And then, so that'll be 3, I'm going to use Katie to put 3 credits on. And then 4...
This is gone, right?
No.
Oh, you didn't pay to take it?
No.
Oh, okay.
It makes me wonder if I should.
Yeah.
I didn't really like that chuckle on your end. And then for the last one, since Jeb chuckled, I think I'll draw a card.
Oh. Alright, so mandatory draw for me.
Yeah.
1, I will pay 1 money for an operation, green level clearance. It says I gain 3 credits and I draw a card. 2, I will advance this card and score it.
And does it do bad things?
It's your hand's reduced by 1.
So now I have a maximum of 3.
Yep. And then my last will be to set. What is that? Yeah, I'll set. Here we go.
Alright. Okay, click 1, I'll use Katie. Click 2, I'll use Inside Job on R&D.
R&D?
Yep, play 1 to break it.
Pass
Oh,
it.
yeah, 2 to break it?
2.
No.
This is strength 2 now.
I am strength 2.
So you just pay
1.
1.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Alright, and you get 2 cards?
Yep.
So first.
So I'll take that.
No! Is that game?
No, it's not.
Crap. And then the second?
You get to keep that.
Alright.
Unfortunately. Okay, so I will make him put the card that he put down back in his hand. Yes. Well, hopefully that's the agenda that I've seen earlier. Oh, what click was I on?
I think that was.
I drew Katie, then sure, right?
Drew Katie and an inside job.
So I got 1 left. Don't do that, folks. Pay attention to your clicks.
Yep.
My hand size is 3, right?
Yep.
Your turn. I put same old thing as a resource down.
Mandatory draw. So put that there. 1, I will play Archived Memories, and that says add 1 card from Archives to HQ. So I will grab a snare.
Oh!
2, I will
How many is snare? 3 damage.
3 net. Yeah.
Okay.
2, I will set a card there. And 3, I will pay 2 for defective brain chips.
And that does what again?
When you take a brain damage, you take an additional.
An extra one. Alright, so I am going to trash that for inside job. Run R&D. Pay the 1 to break the second one.
Okay. Also, for same old thing, he has to trash it and pay 2 clicks.
Right. Oh, so the way that worked was a click to or no, that was last time.
Yep.
2 clicks right now, and then I automatically play that. So I'm only on 2 clicks. It didn't cost me to play the inside job.
Yep. When you use trash abilities, it doesn't cost a click,
Right.
and you get to see what 2.
Yes.
1.
Game.
No.
Boom.
No.
I never beat Jeb. Yes.
That
Did
hurts.
you put it down? Oh, it's a different one. You still had it in your hand?
Yeah.
You were hoping to get me to snare it.
I was dying. I kept getting things that were 3s and 4 cost, and I just never got money.
Alright, so we're back to the review portion of Android Netrunner by Fantasy Flight Games, a Richard Garfield design. One thing before we start with our review, Jeb and I want to go over one thing that we kind of didn't, it felt like it would be too long during the intro, and we didn't want to talk about it during gameplay either, but it does have, Netrunner does have a unique deck building system, so we wanted to talk about that real quick. The cards are going to flash up that we talk about in front of the screen, so you'll be able to understand. I was running Leela Patel. And down in the corner, the right-hand corner, there are 2 numbers. The top number says 45, and the bottom number says 15. And what that means is the top number is the minimum size the deck can be. So I can have a minimum deck size of 45. I can have over 45, but I can't go below that.
Yep.
The bottom number are the cards that I can have outside of faction. And what that means is that, for instance, on Leela, up in the corner, you can see her faction. She's criminal, and it's got a little, I don't know, blue bad guy type of symbol. And all the cards in basically in that deck are blue. So, for instance, here is a green card that is a Shaper card. Correct, Jeb?
Yep, Shaper is the green.
Alright, so, Shaper card, it has its own symbol down here in the corner. What's unique about this, though, is also down in the corner there is a gauge, and it has 4 blips on it. 5 blips on it. If they are shaded in, it counts against that 15 from out of faction cards. So for instance, R&D interface has 2 shaded in blips on that card. So if I put that card in my deck, that counts 2 against the 15. So now I have 13 points left of outside cards I can put in. So I could go get another card, say I got an icebreaker here called Mimic. This is a 1 blip filled in card, so it's also out of faction. And I put that in, so now I'm down to 12 left, etc., etc. You cannot go over that 15 or you have an illegal deck. There are also plenty of neutral cards, such as Katie Jones is a neutral card. They're just blank.
There are some neutral cards that have,
cost. It does have the gauge, but as a general rule, most of the time the neutral cards aren't going to count against you.
Yep.
And so that's kind of the deck building thing. I don't know if I missed anything, but Jeb will talk about the corp side. It's basically the same idea.
Yep, it is exactly the same. There's a top number for the minimum deck size, and then the bottom number is the out of influence maximum limit. So for me, I was HB, which is purple, and I had a bunch of Jinteki cards, which are red. And at the bottom, I know for the runner it was on the side, but for corp it's on the bottom. It has the little blips as well, so you just add them up and make sure you have less than or equal to the limit. So I think that's about it for the deck building.
Alright.
So I guess let's talk about the game. I know we met each other at Pokemon tournaments, right?
Yeah.
So
through mutual friends.
Yep. So we were playing Pokemon, and then we found out we both played board games, and I think maybe a few months afterwards, Mickey told me he got Netrunner, and it was a couple months before we actually broke it out and played it. And we were pretty crappy playing.
Yeah, we didn't do too well, and we had a lot of questions. And actually,
yep.
We both looked online to find videos other than the Fantasy Flight video. That is good. It does give a good overview. But we found that At least I think so. In my opinion, I couldn't find anything that helped me too much. So we're hoping that this video helped you guys a little bit more if you're just starting out with the game. Obviously, you've been playing the game. It probably didn't add much to it, but we thought that there wasn't a really good, concise overview. Hopefully, that did that. I'll admit, Jeb and I found making this a little bit harder than we thought. There's a lot to talk about in this game. There's a ton of things.
Definitely read the rule book if you're playing, because
there's a lot, and definitely post questions and we'll answer them. I will be the first one to admit Jeb knows this game more than I do. Even though I got it first, he's taken to this game. He knows the rules really well. So, post your questions or whatever, because it does have a lot, and there's a lot of things going on. You just got to touch the tip of the iceberg watching us play with all the interactions. But if you've played any kind of other LCG or CCG, you know that these card games can go crazy with all the things that you can do.
And that's what I wanted to mention, was that this was my first LCG. I don't know if it was yours. You might have bought Lord of the Rings before, right? But I don't think you played that much.
Yeah, I think probably close to the same time, but yeah.
Yeah, the LCG format is so much better than the TCG and CCG, in my opinion, because I'm not hunting cards, and I can just buy it and build my deck. So it's pretty simple for me.
We both are. We can't say enough about the LCG format, and there's a lot of card games are starting to go to that format. Now, of course, nobody's going to overtake Magic, and there's nothing wrong with it. We both like the game, both like Pokemon. We just really like at this point the fact is that we can every time there's an upgrade, we both have the same cards. We can't say enough good things about the LCG format. And there's other places like Versus System just came out. It's another one. Maybe we'll do a review of that sometime. In terms of other LCGs, Fantasy Flight has Star Wars. They have Game of Thrones.
Lord of the Rings.
They have Lord of the Rings. That's a co-op, but it's still an LCG. It's a little bit different. We're going to do a review on that because we love that game.
Yeah.
And
like a Warhammer, right?
And there's 40K Conquest, another one. Maybe we'll get to that too. For me, this is, at least right now, I think this is probably Jeb's favorite. Mm-hmm. Not my favorite, I'll be honest with you. Only because I can't find anybody to play Star Wars with. I love the Star Wars game. This is a close second, though. I love the theme, the different decks.
One thing that I remember you mentioning was, for the LCG format, is that you always have options. Like in TCGs and CCGs, sometimes you draw a crappy hand and you're sitting there and you're like, I can't do anything. And your opponent just steamrolls you for 3 or 4 turns, and then you finally draw something that's good. In this, if you have a crappy hand, you can get money. If you don't have cards that give you money, you can just get a credit, and there you go. If you don't have good cards in your hand, you can just draw a card. There's no limit to, there's never a turn that you can't do anything. Especially with,
it might not be the greatest, but you can do something, and hopefully you draw into that card that you need or whatever. Jeb has a really good point. You can always get economy, and you can always draw cards. That's kind of unheard of in other games, because you can pay. It costs you, but you can pay to do it. So that's pretty big.
And one cool thing is, for the runner, you can never deck out. So once your deck runs out, you can still play with, say if you had 4 cards in hand, you can keep playing the game. Like, you don't lose if you're the runner and you deck out. You can gain money, you can't draw cards, but you can still make runs and do all kinds of stuff. So that's pretty cool. I don't think I've played a game where you don't have a deck and you can still win the game. So.
It actually brings an aspect to the game that's, that aspect is, it makes it kind of difficult because you have a hand and you think it's good and you're like, but I can't use it right now, so do I dig for what I need and get rid of these cards that I might need later, or do I hold it and hope that I'm going to get it? So it brings a new aspect into the card games that you might be used to that is it's kind of fresh in my opinion. So
and the bluffing in this game is ridiculous.
Yeah, you always feel like you're on the edge of your seat in this game.
You don't know what's in there. Like if I'm a runner and I'm running court, if I get their hand, it's like, am I going to get something I can trash? Is it going to be ice, or is it going to be an agenda?
Right.
Or the one cool thing they did is they have a lot of trap cards. So if you hit a trap, like Mickey did with the snare, it screws you over big time.
Right.
And then you can put traps down. You have no idea what's there until you actually check it.
Yep, a lot of unknown information all the time. Yep. What does he have? Now, of course, other games have that too. I mean, Magic, for instance, you don't know what kind of instant they're holding in their hand, or sorcery or whatever. I get that. But in general, you know what they can attack you with and things like that, so you can set up to do this. In this game, a lot of times, the information is blind until you either encounter it, or the other guy, being the runner, makes a run. You don't know what they're going to be able to drop down during the run or use or whatever. So, in a nutshell, I do, and obviously Jeb does. We really enjoy playing this game.
And then casually playing is really fun too, because then you get people making all kinds of creative decks. I know the tournament scene is a lot of similar decks, and that kind of changes with the meta, but when you get a bunch of guys who are just playing for fun, I think you get a lot of good combinations, because we play locally for fun, and there's some crazy stuff we run into.
There's also a multiplayer version. I haven't played it. Have you played it?
I haven't played it.
We have friends that played it. It's supposedly great. So,
but I guess that's about it for this review. We recommend checking out Netrunner. All you need is the core box, and you can play plenty of games with that. There's some data packs. There's some large expansions if you want to get into that stuff. But that stuff is not necessary if you want to play a good amount of games in Netrunner. So.
But you'll want more if you get sucked in.
Oh yeah. That's, all right. I guess we should say please leave comments, feedback.
Yep. Any questions?
Yep. Definitely the fan pick episode. We would like to know if you guys want anything to play, because if not, we're gonna figure out.
We'll pick something ourselves.
Yeah.
And
it's not Ravenloft, because Mickey's he's sick of me playing that. So, and what else? I think
I had something. I can't remember what
next
it was.
episode. Do you want to reveal what the next one is?
Sure. Okay. So because it's mine.
Oh yeah, I did.
So the next episode is going to be Imperial Settlers, but we reserve the right to switch it to Star Realms, because Star Realms is going to be a quick and easy record. So there's a possibility that we might get to Star Realms before, and Jeb will post it. We're not going to, we don't want to cram you with stuff, so there'll be a little delay. But if we don't get Imperial Settlers in, you might see Star Realms first, and then Imperial Settlers. But those are the two next games, and hopefully when we play Imperial Settlers, we'll let you see a 4-player game, so you can see all the factions.
And
all right?
I don't know if the expansion for that is coming out.
It's supposed to be out real soon. So
we might try to throw that in. I don't know, because it's new and it.
Right, it's Atlantean, so that's cool.
Yeah, I like the Japan people. So.
Whatever.
All right, so
see you next time, guys.
Bye. Boards and booze and boards with Mickey and Jeb.